Hello. So look, I was listening to Bo the Fifth column, and he was talking about how the Republicans didn't want to debate the Democrats coming up, and how the Libertarians could get on the stage and the Democrats could debate them, and then by debating them, the Libertarians will have something to say, which puts them in the limelight, which allows most people to just say, "Well, the Republicans aren't doing it," and it could give the Libertarians a good little push here, as he said, 3 to 5% of the vote they could get, and that would set Republicans back. It would damage them and their party for some years to come. And I understand that, and that is actually true. Yes, it would definitely devastate the Republican Party for a bit, but see, he didn't include fallout. See, what would happen is the Republicans at that point would say, we didn't debate on stage, we didn't care to, because as Bo said, we didn't want to be fact checked, real-time fact checked, which I think there should be a consistent fact checking during the debates on both sides, and just say, wait, fact check time, this, and just correct them outright and inform the people, so that the people on that, at the time, the listeners, the voters, can hear what's really going on. You know, someone that's impartial, they just want the truth. And when someone lies or, veers from the truth, they can get fact checked. Okay, now, here's the thing. What he didn't talk about with the fallout is when let's say the Libertarian Party did get that, and people start saying, you know what, we might need to look into them. What would happen at that moment is that the Republicans would go into damage control, and it would be a frenzy. The Republicans would, at that moment, say, look, we need to be in the forefront. We need to say this or do that or whatnot. But then you've got those that know what politics really is. Okay, like, Matt Gaetz and Marjorie Taylor Greene and Boebert and a lot of others. They would actually not. It's most of them, even on both sides. Truthfully, even Democrats. But the Republicans really excel at this. They got their game down tight. I'm not going to trash that. They know what they're doing. They know that politics is a money grab. They know it's all about fame and popularity, and Donald Trump excelled at that, which is why they do what they do. And so what they would do is they would jump to the Libertarian Party, or they would start to try. And then you got those Republicans that would say, no, you need to be a party loyalist. So no matter what, no matter how bad it gets, you need to stay here. And they would be like, LOL, and then they would leave. And then other Republicans might start being, if the Libertarian Party started getting some headway, that's what would cause them to leave. When the next round of things or current polls show that the Libertarian Party has gained a lot of momentum, that's when you will see the Republicans starting to leave the Republican Party and join the Libertarian Party. That's when you would see that. And then you would also hear Republicans say, who gave up or who wussed out or something like that. The Democrats, as usual, would say nothing and stay quiet, and that would be the best thing that they could do, so that they don't get others to say, well, we need to get them to stay. No. Just stay out of it. Stay out of the fight. That's what would happen. And then the Republicans would that would bring the Libertarian Party into the forefront, but it would keep a progressive party down. That chime was Phil Mora 7. But yeah, that's what would happen. They would just shift parties real quick. It happened in the 70s, the late 60s to the up to the mid 70s. There was a party shift, the Republicans leaving, the Democrats, the Democrats leaving for the Republican Party, and the Republicans going to the Democrats. But it's more like yin and yang. Even though the majority of people left, there was still some left behind to leave those traces in there. So no party truly became one thing or the other, which is why now the Democratic Party, while the Republicans went far right, Democrats aren't on the left. They're just on the right. They're at the opening crest of it. They're right there. They're past the door, but they ain't going into the hallway or the den. They just passed the door. That's all that is. And everyone went with them. And that's why Democrats are so favoring of big donor money and things like that. That's why they didn't favor people like Larry Lessig and Bernie Sanders and things. And they pushed Joe Biden, Hillary Clinton and stuff, despite what the people wanted. That's why it's like that. Both parties are messed up and people are still voting for them. So we know what would happen if the Libertarians got some some leadway. They, the Republicans would jump to them, as I already said a couple of times, and then you would need another party to show up. That's when people would start calling, wait a minute, you can't have two Republican type parties and then one Democratic type party. We need another party. And that's when you progressives out there need to shine.